Hello everyone, so today for you, as you see before you, I've got a review of 2 gingerbread scented candles by Homeworx by Harry Slatkin, available exclusively at QVC. These are sold as a duo, so you get one of each of the candles. They are available right now on the website, and they start shipping sometime mid to late September, the week of the 15th or the 22nd. Now I do believe it's very likely that these may sell out because of course, bakery tends to be very popular with folks in the home fragrance world. And also I believe some of the other reviewers who are getting these now are tending to really enjoy these, and spoiler alert, I really like them as well. So just give you that heads up. If you like them, that kind of thing, where I'd probably grab them as quickly as you can. Not to try to be, sell, but just that's how these work. They tend to, when they sell quickly and popular, it's always hard to say if and when they'll be back available for sale. So this set here is sold as a gingerbread treat collection duo. You see there's glazed gingerbread and pumpkin gingerbread. So I will do my sort of traditional in-depth sniff and review of these scents. As you can see, one of these is not a post, but a, during burn review of the glazed gingerbread, the more traditional gingerbread scent. Because I wanted to, show you what it looks like burning, and also just start getting the sniff on this one ahead of the game. So I'm gonna dig into these, talk through the notes, tell you what I think, and we'll go from there. So first of all, what I like to kind of talk through with the candles is the aesthetic. Obviously we're buying these for the scent, but if they were white wax in a plain white container, it wouldn't be quite the same ambiance, the same aesthetic as you're able to get when it's a really classy looking candle, which in this case it really is. I cannot express enough. In general, folks who are familiar with and appreciate Harry Slatkin candles, the Homeworx candles, generally know you've got these really nice heavy glass containers that with the wraparound labels. They're 18 ounces. Now this season they are 4 wicks. So this sucker pulled out less than 45 minutes, I would say. It was a full pull, which is really nice to get a strong throw that quickly. And with this one, I'd say really the entire fall, holiday, winter collection. I've really liked the different variations of the labels. This one, you've got 2 different types of plaid. These it's hard to show on camera, but these are the, I guess, golden lids, so they're not the typical silver. They do have a gold edge to them, which matches with the garland here, if you can tell. And you have the ones here is just the very light gold, cream and red plaid, and then you have the deeper kind of gingham plaid here with some browns and oranges for the pumpkin gingerbread candle. Now the notes on the glazed gingerbread candle are iced gingerbread, brown sugar, Grand Marnier, and ginger. Now Grand Marnier is a cognac-based liqueur with a strong citrus note to it. Oftentimes you'll find that in really nice margaritas, things along those lines, maybe an old-fashioned with your bourbon or whiskey. So that's what we're looking for in there. Now this one is a very traditional gingerbread. Now it's glazed gingerbread, so it's not just a gingerbread cookie or gingerbread cake or gingerbread man, but there's a glaze to it. Now it's gonna be tough for me to sniff this exactly because can't really put my nose up to the flame there, so we're just gonna get an overall waft of the candle. And then of course you can oftentimes get a really nice part of the fragrance kind of in the lid, just even around the rim here. It kind of collects some of the oils or the general fragrance you're gonna get from it. Not a perfect interpretation of how it will be melted or burning, but very close. Now with this, again, I say traditional gingerbread, and for me this is very much a ginger snap cookie. Ginger snaps are very similar, I guess, to sort of a gingerbread man. I think a gingerbread man can sometimes be a little bit almost more of like a hard kind of cakey note to it, whereas gingerbread cookies are, again, they're thin. I think it's probably a slightly wetter batter, and they really do have a snap to them. So when you bite into it or break it apart, there's a strong snap, and it gets kind of chewy because of the molasses that's in the cookie. And for me, sniffing this, you really do get a gingerbread cookie with almost, I would say, like, if you I've had some really nice gingerbread cookies before, or ginger snap cookies that have just like a little tiny bit of caramelized ginger in there. So true little chunks of ginger that are, essentially dehydrated and sugared. you get that, and then you also do get a glaze, or sort of, I say icing, but more so of a glaze, where we're talking just a little bit of a powdered sugar with liquid, and just a light glaze on top of the cookie, similar to what you'd see in like a glazed donut, but maybe just a little bit richer than just pure plain sugar like that. And really, that's the most. That's really this candle in a nutshell. I will say it's simple, but not basic. So simple in the sense that it is really that glazed gingerbread, or the ginger snap. The brown sugar is in there, whereas some of the gingerbreads, which we'll talk about in this next one, can lean almost towards a molasses or a more rich depth of the sugar. You've got the brown sugar, you've got probably a little bit of molasses in there, you've got the snap of the cookie, very much the crystallized or sugared ginger, with that little bit of glaze on top, and just really, really nice overall. It is quite sweet, but it's somewhat light, so it's not, again, I say this oftentimes, and I think Harry does bakery really well in the sense that it never is cloying. It's never overly sweet, or just, artificially sweet, or just, too much. Yeah, for me, now what I like about this, it being somewhat lighter, it's not, the ginger is a candied, crystallized ginger. It's not, ginger like you may be used to in body care or something like that, or even an aromatherapy ginger, or if you're familiar with Harry's key lime pie candle, that had some ginger in it that leaned more fresh to me, whereas this very much is the bakery candied ginger, where you get those little tiny bits of it when you're chewing through the cookie. You don't see them, but then you start to taste them and feel the texture of them when you're chewing the cookie, and it's getting like really kind of chewy and stuck in your teeth. Really nice. And to get to my point, this to me is very much a layering candle. It's not overwhelming. It could be, you could really do many things with it. Certainly you could put this pumpkin gingerbread with it, but you could add something that's a little bit more earthy to this. You could have this going in your kitchen, and then maybe one of the more pine candles, either your winter hearth or your white birch or your season's greetings, going in your den or your family room or your foyer, and you're really going to have these different scents play off of each other. But this is light enough that it's not overwhelming. You don't walk in and say, oh, you're baking in the house. This is, all encompassing. No, it's here. It's really authentic. I'd say more authentic than other spiced gingerbreads from other companies that I've smelled in the past. But very much almost understated, but in a nice way, because it's there, it's authentic, but it's simplified in a really, really nice way. So, and when I say simplified, in the sense that not dumbed down, but very, very authentic, which you don't often see. They're Bath & Body Works. I think a lot of people smell the spiced gingerbread, and oftentimes we've said, oh, it smells like tortilla chips, or hint of lime tortilla chips, or just odd things. But with this, super, super authentic. So that's really, really lovely. But when we get to the star of the show, if I had to pick favorite, and I'm calling this before I even melt it, you guys, in my many, many years of sniffing and reviewing candles, this has got to be top 3, top 4 all-time favorite bakery scents for me. Right off the top, of course, your cinnamon sugar donut from Slatkin & Co. back in 2011 when that launched. That's a top. Apple crumble, same year, Bath & Body Works, Harry, when Slatkin & Co. Was the exclusive provider of home fragrance for L brands. Maybe lavender caramel, but that one really wasn't a true bakery so much, even though it was a lavender macaron, or lavender caramel macaron. Really, I would say this is up there with it's probably, again, in my top 3 between apple crumble, cinnamon sugar donut, and this now. This one is, again, hands down the best holiday or Christmas bakery candle that I've smelled, because again, the apple crumble, the cinnamon sugar donut, those are fall or year round. This is very much, it could work for autumnal because you've got the pumpkin, but it leans, take this all the way into Christmas. This is Christmas Eve bakery in a nutshell. Now, I know there are a lot of folks who say, oh gosh, well, if you're getting these candles to review, you must be biased, or you're just, saying that they're so great because you know, you're a fan of the brand or a fan of Harry Slatkin's work. And I think I would hope that folks who've watched me for a long time would know that's not the case here. But this one really, again, on first sniff and as I've continued to sniff it today, it really is just kind of blowing me away. Now, let me tell you why. So the notes on this one. First of all, again, the aesthetic certainly does not hurt the game. It's super classy, it's masculine, fits really nicely well within my decor. The notes on this one, again, as we say, Gingerbread Treats collection, are pumpkin, gingerbread, brown sugar, nutmeg, and hazelnut. So you're not getting a lot here. There's just 5 notes, 2 of which are literally in the name. Now this is a really nice orange, kind of rusty orange wax. Oh, goodness. What surprised me in this, initially I will admit, I was a little surprised that there was gonna be a gingerbread collection because I thought, well, a gingerbread candle is a gingerbread candle. How different can they really be? These are so different. It's really, really surprising, and absolutely there is a place for both of them. Now this one, whereas glazed gingerbread is your traditional, simple, but delicious ginger snap, glazed ginger snap cookie. This pumpkin gingerbread, this is that moist, dark, kind of molasses-based bread. So not a gingerbread man cookie or ginger snap cookie or, you know, the kind of gingerbread that you used to build your gingerbread house. This is as if it just came out of the oven. This one, I imagine when it's lit, is going to be the all-encompassing, wow, it smells like you're baking as soon as you walk in the house in a really, really great way on that cold sort of autumn or winter day. And this is, you pulled it out of the oven and you hopefully let it cool down a little bit, hard to let it cool, of course, and you slice it and it almost falls apart in your hand because it's so moist. I know people hate that word, but it really is almost like this candle, you can sense that this is wetter, that this is dense, that this is heavy. Again, not cloyingly sweet, not ooey gooey, but it is very much a baked good item. The difference in this one, per the notes, being it has pumpkin, it has nutmeg, it has hazelnut. It shares the idea of brown sugar and of course gingerbread in both. Now, more so than gingerbread, no doubt molasses is in this, I'll say off bat. The ginger is in here, it's not the exact same ginger, which is interesting. It's not so much those little chunks of the crystallized, sugared, dried ginger or candied ginger. It's more the ginger, actually, like, you know, spice, or of course the ginger root that's just, you know, ground into the powdered ginger as the ingredient. And what I get out of this so much that I think is part of why I really love it, because it's a unique note in home fragrance, even in bakery items, is it's very heavy on the allspice. It's got a really strong dose of nutmeg and a really nice layer of clove. It actually reminds me in that sense, a few years back there was a brown sugar allspice candle, that this is that taken to the next level with, you know, 4 or 5 more things added on top of it. I keep whiffing this because it is, A, it smells so authentic, but B, what I love about this is, you know, you're gonna get a bakery candle, you're gonna get an autumn spice blend candle. It's always gonna be a lot of cinnamon, maybe you get some clove, maybe some nutmeg, call it a day, that's it. If you're lucky, you might have a little bit of cardamom or something, you know, rare or unique thrown in there. This does not have a speck of cinnamon in it. It is very heavy on the allspice, very heavy on, which is a warm, it is spiced without being spicy. So those who don't like spicy candles because they think it's gonna be a cinnamon red hot, or it's gonna be so heavy on the clove that it's just overwhelming, because clove, again, I always make this funny voice, but clove, you smell it and it makes you talk like this, like you're walking through Nordstrom's and they're spraying cologne all over you. That's not what this does. It is just incredibly warm. When you think of the kitchen spice blends, or those spice blends that are warm, soft, comforting, strong, but add a richness, almost an earthiness to it, because it's not just a spicy like a cinnamon can be. Not to say that cinnamon can't be warm, of course, you know, there's more than just the red hot cinnamon, but this is a really nice blend of a fresh nutmeg, the allspice, which adds that little bit of kick beyond just the softness of the nutmeg. And the clove is underlying. It's there because it adds a little something to the allspice, but again, it's by no means the primary spice in this. Now, what you do when you mix some pumpkin puree, so the sweetness of the pumpkin, with the ginger, with the allspice, with the nutmeg, with a little bit of that clove, with brown sugar, maybe sprinkled on top, and the molasses in your cake or bread base, I mean, it just comes together, and it again really is just one of my favorite bakeries I've ever smelled in the years that I've done candles like this. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to blow this one out and like this one, because it is so good, you guys. I sound like a hype man that it could not possibly be true what I'm saying, but I promise you it really, really is. I need to buy more of these, because it's just, I'm gonna keep repeating myself over and over again. It is strong, it is rich, it is decadent, it is authentic. Again, I'm holding a piece of spiced pumpkin gingerbread cake bread in my hands. It's as close to ooey gooey as I can get without hating it. There's none of the caramelization. Oh, there could be some caramelization, but not like caramel in it, you know, the salted caramels of the world. It has the molasses, it has the brown sugar. Oh, it's so nice. Again, it opens with that spice, and then everything else just comes in with it. It smells warm even on a cold sniff. So I've blabbed and babbled enough about this. But again, I highly recommend this pumpkin gingerbread. The glazed gingerbread, again, very nice, simple, authentic, classic. And then the pumpkin gingerbread is that next level for those who love the bakery, who love the warming spices. That's the one that you're gonna burn on that cooler night, where the gingerbread, you can layer it with anything. You can do it midday, whenever you want. Again, highly recommend those. Sold as a duo, the Gingerbread Treats collection, Homeworx by Harry Slatkin. That is basically it for this review. If you have any questions, let me know. I will try to update some post-burn reviews. As you'll see, I'm doing some of these videos and reviews on TouchTheFireTwice. Others will be on my primary YouTube channel, The Gentleman Next Door, or The Gentleman Next Door Instagram. Please let me know what you think hopefully if you do purchase, and when you get these, I'd love to hear what you think. Because again, that pumpkin gingerbread is very much next level for me, in my opinion, and I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. And that is pretty much it for now. Again, as promised in one of my recent videos, I will be doing a comparison, some reviews of other Homeworx candles for the winter collection. That is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, and until next time, guys, take care.